In this movie, I'm going to demo an app called Vintique. Vintique is available for iPhone and iPad. It doesn't do a lot of fun, sexy, creative, outrageous things, but what it does is filters, and it does them very well. It has 16 basic filters, 36 vintage filters, and a whole bunch of available in-app purchases. So let me launch the app and show it to you. At the bottom, you see three icons. On the left, you can go and sample other images, get some ideas, some creativity. In the middle is the store button if you want to go and look at other apps this company makes or view your in-app purchases. And on the right is the resolution button. By default, this is set to original resolution. I changed it, but you have several different options here for different types of resolutions, and that's a nice thing. I'm going to click that little gear to put that away. So on the left is an icon to use my camera, and on the right is camera roll. Another thing I like is that not only can I choose 1-to-1 ratio for posting to Instagram and other social media sites, but I can open it in my original format as well. I'm going to choose 1-to-1, go out and find my image. So here's an image I'm going to use. Now this screen allows you to move and scale. I'm a pinch and zoom girl. I'm all about the pinch and zoom. But if you really want precision, and why wouldn't you, you can use this little fine tool down at the bottom. So I'm toggling it on and off. And I can go in here and get precise control over where I place my image. So for rotating, for positioning, and for sizing, you can turn on that little fine tool that gives you really precise measurements. I'm going to click the little use button because I'm ready to go. Down at the bottom, all of your filters are broken up into categories. One thing I don't like about this app is there are way too many in-app purchases, and you can't tell by a glance down here which ones you've paid for and which ones you haven't. I would like a little icon or maybe a dot that would tell me which ones I have installed. But that being said, I'm going to click on the basic and just show you some of these different filters. These are fabulous filters in here that work really, really well. So this is just the basic set that comes with the application. I happen to like that one very much. And I can control how much that filter shows by toggling this button right here. Click the left arrow and go back. For example, here's standard. Some really interesting effects that I can apply here. And I love the fact that I can control how much that filter shows. That one I don't like at all, but I could cut back on it and maybe I might like it a little bit better. That's kind of interesting right there. So I'm going to click that left button. Now again, some of these I've purchased. I know the light one I purchased. Snap I did not. So when you click on it, it gives you the option to go out and purchase it. So I would say play with the basic ones that come with the application first and then decide from there if you want to really extend it any further. So we're in the effects right now, so that little red button at the bottom, that takes us to the effects menu. The second button then allows us to adjust certain controls such as vibrance, so I can apply the vibrance there. I can also adjust temperature and tint. I can adjust exposure and gamma. Lots of settings there you can play with. The next button over allows me to apply different overlays such as vignettes and textures. So lots of different types of vignettes here that I can play with. I can even put borders on them. I'm not real big on the border thing, but if you wanted to put borders and add text to them, add a little message, you can do that here as well. Back to my effects. And so then when you're done, when you're ready to move on, you can click that little button on the far right on the bottom. It allows you to save right out to social media, which is fantastic. It allows you to open in another app. I made the mistake of clicking on that earlier, and since I have 400 apps, it took a long time. So you might not want to do that unless you have less apps than me. Here's a little preview button. You can actually see the preview, exactly what it's going to look like. This is a really nice little app. So again, when you get in here, you can decide if you want to save it out to your album, save it to social media, open it in another application, or attach it to an email. It's a very great app that I love. It's simple to use, and it's called Vintique.